What's going on, guys? This is how we made $875 total across two trades today. Two small wins, nothing great with the RR, but pretty good trades. We read the market pretty good today. I'm super happy with that. So, starting from the top, we had PPI at 8:30, and this ended up putting in this huge news wick. And yeah, basically ES had taken out all-time high. NQ hasn't taken out a new all-time high. It's still all the way up there. So we had basically for buy side draws, we had PPI highs, and then we had all-time highs, and then for sell side, we had the PPI low. We had this hourly fair value gap right here, and then below that we had these lows from within London. They were just past the 5 a.m. Lows. We had Asia lows, and then we had this 4-hour gap. So starting off at the top, we initially had obviously this push on PPI, and then we started to kind of consolidate, and we were trading within this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. We had an initial sell off at market open. Right down here, we had this huge push to the downside, and then we came up and we were retesting within this 1 minute bearish FEG. And obviously, I don't like trading this close after market open, but when you have news draws, you have to understand that news draws are super strong draws in liquidity, and price is going to draw to those most, like, that's what it usually wants to draw towards. So basically, after market open, we had this huge push to the downside. We have a pullback into a 1 minute gap, and I see that PPI low is literally sitting right there, and then we have the hourly gap sitting right below it. So my idea is to try to catch a scalp short down to PPI low, and that's exactly what I did. So pretty much, as soon as we poked into this fair value gap right here, I took my entry on this rejection candle right here. My first entry was at 22,963, and then I re-entered again on Top Step. So I think I got in around 57 or something, like around here. And anyway, I ended up moving stop loss to break even after we ended up taking out this low right here. I ended up taking off profit on my other account at PPI low. The Top Step trade ended up getting taken out break even, and then I ended up scaling out a bit extra on the other account at this push down as soon as this candle flipped bearish, and then I left a runner down to this 4-hour gap right here because we had Asia lows and these London lows resting right above this 4-hour gap. So I wanted to see if price was going to flush down and continue down to those lows down there. But the rest of my position ended up getting stopped out break even. But main target at the end of the day was PPI low. Small scalp, gave the stop loss some room. Not too bad of a scalp. Again, just trading with the lower time frame order flow, targeting that higher time frame draw liquidity, which was the news low. So not bad. Again, scaled out here and then scaled it a little more on this push. Wanted to leave a runner down, but rest got stopped out break even right at around 10:03. So then we end up, price ends up pushing up, and it ends up continuing to hold within this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, and it just chopped around and chopped around for the time being. Now, I wanted to wait for ES to kind of correlate with NQ because I wasn't sure if ES was going to take out PPI high or if it wanted to dump as well. So I continued to kind of watch ES as like the guide for the session. And finally, around right here on this 1050 candle, ES inverted this 5-minute bullish fair value gap and came back in and retested it. So once I seen that, I figured that order flow was shifting now from bullish to bearish. And where's the next draw on liquidity? Obviously, it was going to be all the way down at PPI low. So I figured if ES order flow was shifting from bullish to bearish, it was probably going to want to come down for PPI low, and that gave me more confidence to want to take the short on NQ. So on NQ, we were holding and continuously holding within this 15-minute bearish fair value gap right here, and we just continued to chop around and chop around. So around that time that ES had flipped that 5-minute gap and inversed it, I just took the entry right on this breakout right here. I got a decent entry around 63 right here on this 1-minute breakout candle right here. Got a nice fill, and basically I scaled out on the way down on this push. I ended up taking out the majority around here, and I was going to leave the rest until ES took PPI low. But as soon as we start to edge PPI low at this point, I just ended up closing the trade fully because at this point it was already 11:30, and I hate being in the market really past 11:15. So scaled out of the position and took the rest out there. So I ended up only catching about 1.2 R. The initial idea was to see price again run all the way down to there, but I don't like being in the market that late. So again, as ES continued to kind of edge the PPI low, I just ended up taking off the position and closing it out for about plus 574, I think it was. I'll show you guys that in a sec, but Again, first trade, we put in the PPI high, we put in the PPI low, we get a shift on the lower time frame. PPI low is clearly my draw on liquidity. We're respecting a 1 minute bearish fair value gap right here. Take shorts down to there, scale out, rest gets stopped out, break even. We walk away with a decent profit on that one. Then continuously, ES or NQ is continuing to respect bearish order flow. We're continuing to reject and respect this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Once ES flips this 5-minute gap and comes back in and retraces it on this 1055 candle, I'm saying, okay, order flow is shifting. I'm assuming ES is going to want to come down and take out the PPI low, and it's probably going to want to pull down NQ with it, which it seems like it's going to do right now. But anyway, we take the entry off as soon as we start breaking out of this consolidation right here. And I pretty much just take the full take profit as ES kind of like edges the PPI low, just because I didn't want to be caught bag holding at 11:30. So just took that off. It might continue to run down. Again, this would have been my final target, but I'm okay with those 2 small wins. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. Again, everything is in the Discord, executions, all that stuff like that. If you guys want to join, link will be in the pinned comment and the description. Link for the mentorship in the description as well. Tomorrow we have CPI, so it should be a good day tomorrow. I'm going to post a post-market breakdown and all that stuff in the Discord tonight. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.